Hello and welcome back to another Stonksy video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I used Stonksy to set a limit order, which triggered and is up very nicely P&L wise. So I'm going to be showing you exactly how I did that, how I utilized Stonksy, the metrics I was looking at. I did this live on stream as well, so we'll go back, take a look at exactly when I've placed the limit order. I'll show you exactly what I was looking at and obviously how you can take the same strategy and features of Stonksy, implement them into your trading for what you look at, and yeah, obviously net trades like this. But please do make sure you drop a big like on the video, make sure you subscribe, and of course make sure you click them links in the description. Sign up to BLOFIN, where you should be doing all your trading. It's non-KYC and a fantastic exchange. And of course, come and grab Stonksy while you can for 20% off your first month with code BOT20. That is on the monthly plan, and the code is up here and in the description. And of course, make sure you check the recent videos on the channel to find out all the recent goings on of Stonksy, the big update to the oscillator, and of course tutorials on how to utilize Stonksy, the trading bots, and all that good stuff. But let's get into the video. So at the time of recording and making this video right now, this was the stream that I done yesterday. So obviously the day of recording this, I did the stream yesterday. So Bitcoin was around this level, 108,455. Around that level, as obviously we just come onto stream, we was 12 minutes into the near 2-hour stream. And I was looking for an entry on Bitcoin. Obviously, it had just been the weekend. We'd got a big push up over the weekend, as we've been seeing recently, obviously with public companies buying over the weekend and more of them doing so. Of course, strategy being the ever-present buyer. But we was looking for an entry and looking at for points where, okay, Bitcoin obviously had some decent peaks over the weekend, but had been selling off into the Monday session. And we was looking at a level for potentially obviously trying to get into a position, but a position obviously where we could maybe take advantage of a push down, liquidity sweep, and then a rally back to the upside. So how did I come to this level? First thing I looked at, I went and looked at the weekend levels, and what I obviously looked at to come to this level was a simple sweep of the Saturday and Sunday wicks. Sweep of both of them, and obviously that's where in and around I had my long limit order set. So that was the first metric, but I didn't want to just go off that. Obviously I wanted to look more deeply into exactly what was going on with Stonksy and help me utilize that, because obviously looking at the chart is one thing, but Stonksy is the ever-present indicator in the market that times all the great moves, all the volatile moves, all the big moves. And of course, with all the features that we have now, there's always something to analyze, there's always something to look at, and always opportunity. So I went and did that. That's exactly what I've done, and I'll show you exactly where I came to the conclusion. Not just looking for a sweep of the weekend, but obviously looking at how price will behave when it came into that level. So before we jump into that, I just do want to show you the trade, to show you that it is an actual trade and I'm not just on here on video talking about a theoretical trade that didn't trigger. Here is the trade, here is the entry, here's the stop loss. We did come very close to it actually last night, overnight, but we survived. That is the main thing. And of course, we have been treated to a very nice recovery pump on Bitcoin. Currently at the time of recording, 108,708. We are 38.5% up. Obviously, it has been a little bit higher, come down in the last 20 minutes or so. But currently, yeah, 38.55% P&L. Obviously, a small actual P&L in USDT wise, but obviously that's relative to the account size. It's only a very small account. But looking at that, obviously, if, say, this was a $1,000 account, obviously that would be 385 USDT. So, yeah, relative to whatever, obviously, account you're running, the percentage is what matters. If obviously we're looking to scale obviously up to whatever you guys may be trading with margin wise. But yeah, small amount of USDT, but obviously percentage wise to then convert it into, okay, if you were using, you know, a sizable account, a medium size account, this would have been a fantastic trade and obviously reaped the rewards of a great P&L return. So as you can see on the screen now, this was towards the end of the live stream. Now we hadn't got Bitcoin to drop quite close to exactly where we were looking at, but what I started to explain as we was obviously going to leave the limit order open throughout obviously the rest of the day, potentially into the night until it triggered, I was obviously explaining the power of the channels. Now obviously we didn't have a background indication at the time of recording. Basically what I was looking at was the power of the channels. Now for everyone that obviously has used the channels, you know how good they are. If you don't, make sure you head over to the channel and look at Mastering the 5-Minute Chart video. I will put the link in the description to it. It's a fantastic video explaining how you can obviously master the 5-minute chart with the background indications. But obviously the channels being one of the recent updates, there is plenty of content on the channel as well, covering the Stonksy channels and exactly how to utilize them. But basically, what we were looking at was exactly how price behaves. So obviously, we exited the inner channel into the outer channel. What happened there? Price rebounded straight up. Now, what we were looking at was, obviously, we were waiting for price to come into this region here. Now, at the time of, obviously, the live stream, the outer channel was residing right in and around that level that we were looking for, a complete sweep of weekend liquidity and the weekend wicks to the downside. So this all lined up perfectly with what I was looking for, an exhaustion point, you know, a downwards drive to then lead to full sweep of liquidity and then obviously reversion to the upside. Now, this lined up perfectly, obviously, with what we were looking at. We didn't have a background indication at the time, so obviously the next best thing to look at on par is the channels, especially for, now this would have been a great scalping opportunity, but we were looking for, you know, a bigger move, obviously a pullback, and then, you know, obviously a really bigger push up, not a quick scalp like this obviously was at the time. We were looking for something to give us more credibility into our trade and obviously utilizing Stonksy for that. And as we can see, it worked out perfectly because we got that pullback into where the channel was, as you can see on screen at the time there. So we didn't get the pullback straight away in there because price then went back up. But as you can see, price came down into the level. Here's the level. Price came out of the inner channel into the outer channel, which suggests exhaustion and obviously potential reversion back to the upside. And we just got that, exactly that, as you can see, exited the inner channel into the outer channel, swept this level, and then strong, real strong reaction, low time frame from the price. Obviously, we went on to consolidate for a bit and then obviously came back up to the levels you can see on screen right now, netting a real nice return on the trade. But that was the exact planning that went into it. Now, that is just one example of how you can utilize Stonksy, alongside just looking at really simple techniques, such as obviously SR levels, which Stonksy draws on for you, but obviously you can draw yourselves ones on too to go with it. As you can see, there's an example of one there, that is a resistance level. But also, obviously, the background color change, the arrows, all the big updates with the oscillator. Make sure you check out the channel for the recent oscillator videos as well, covering the huge updates to that and obviously the value that adds. But obviously, all these tied together, like I mentioned, there's always opportunity in the market, regardless of what's going on. And you can utilize different features of Stonksy for that. So whether it be looking for the double confirmations on the 5-minute, looking for entry points using the channels, you know, looking for exhaustion points in price to really pinpoint them great entries. It's all there for you to utilize and obviously take advantage of. And that is exactly how I did it and how we netted this fantastic trade. But like I just mentioned, if you are obviously wanting to know how you can really take advantage of each individual feature, there is plenty of content on the channel, such as this covering the oscillator update. At the time of recording, there will be a video going up as well, covering one of the best features that have been added into the oscillator, and the hit rate on it is absolutely fantastic. Very good hit rate and catching all the biggest moves in the market as well. Obviously, the channels one, you know, looking at obviously utilizing the channels as we have done, just explained there. And then if you do come down, mastering the 5-minute chart, that talks about utilizing the double confirmation of the arrow confirmation plus the background to capture the best trades and the most volatile ones on the 5-minute chart. So yeah, plenty of content for you to get your teeth into there, obviously covering each and every feature of Stonksy and how it can all tie into looking at them all together, looking at them individually, or obviously when one isn't showing through, such as the background, there's not always a background indication on. That means that, you know, you can look at other ones, such as obviously the channels. But that is everything for today's video. Make sure you do head over, take advantage of the current offer we've got on, code BOT20, to come and get trades like this. Obviously, get Stonksy so you can net trades like this. On a bigger account, this would have paid for, you know, your full month, potentially several months. Maybe, obviously, if you're running a big account, it would have paid for a whole year. So, you know, you could then upgrade to a yearly pass and then obviously have access for a whole year. You know, depends obviously what sort of account you're running, but it is more than possible to do that within one trade, a couple trades, if you've got size on your account. Or obviously, if you just want to make sure, you know, you cover your monthly cost and then make profits each month, just showing you a good example of how you can do that there. But do make sure you sign up to it. Alternatively, obviously, we still offer the oscillator only plan. That is always there, a cheaper option because you only get the oscillator and Discord access. But thank you very much for watching. Make sure you do drop a like, make sure you subscribe, of course, check them links in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.